directions. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing it says to do is to stamp the chalkboard die cuts with white ink and set aside to dry. They've done 3 different ones. As I said, I will do 2 cards like they say and 2 different. So let's see. Okay, I think I'm going to do one with this little swirl. So I'm going to take out my stamp, put it on here, and I need my piece, which is this one. Move this out of the way so that I can still see it. And I need my Whisper White ink. I'm going to use this one this time. Usually I use the big ones, but my big white needs to be re-inked. So I'm going to use this. I ink up my stamp, and I'm going to stamp it in the middle. Leave it there a few seconds for the ink to transfer, and then I take it off. Now I'm going to set that aside. I am not going to stamp the other piece until after that has dried some. The next thing I want is, I think I will use this one, and I think I'm going to do, and I'm going to try, right. Okay, for this one I'm going to use the For You, and I'm going to line that up on my grid paper so it's straight. Then I think I'm going to put this on the top. I'll leave a little bit of space. Then I think I'm going to put this one on the bottom. And then I'm going to put my block down, and then everything's positioned like I want it. And that will just fit on there. So let me ink it up.
Are you playing?
Okay, I had a major malfunction of my camera, so I had to stop and do some deleting. I'm going to take that other one that I did. I've inked it up, and now I'm going to stamp it in the center of this. By putting them all on there once, I don't have to worry about them not being even. So there's that one. If I go back to my directions, I can see that they have used these with the flags on the cards. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to do them just like they have them. I may use different cards the way I want it. With this one, I'm going to fold it in half, taking my bone folder, giving me a nice crisp fold. Then I have to add a flag behind it, and I think I'm going to add the ivory one, because then the pink I think would be lost on there. So I'm going to do the ivory one, and I need to find my dimensionals from the packet. As soon as I find those, there they are. My dimensionals I'm going to put on the back. And just like I showed you in the other video, I use half a piece, so I'm cutting down the sides to get my half pieces. Okay, now, and I'm going to take and put one in this corner. I'm going to rotate it. Oops, I only got 2 that time, I only want 1. I'm going to put this one in this corner long ways. This one I'm going to put in the corner long ways, but I'm going to have the long side on the outside. And then on this one, I'm going to put it at the top. So pulling off my backing. And I'm going to put that in the center of my card. And then this I'm going to put on top. This says it goes off with dimensionals also. The key here is when you put your dimensionals on, you can't use your corners because they're wider than the banner. So what you have to do is kind of lay your banner on there, and I can see that this part would be inside, so I'm going to put my dimensionals on those rounded edges. And then that way it will be on the banner and not hanging off the side. If you decide you don't want your banner up on, oh, now see, it's not dry. See, I smeared it, it's not dry. So I will have to be redoing that one. But that's why they say to stamp it and wait. So make sure you do that. This will go on just like this, and then I won't have to worry. If you don't want it popped up, put your dimensionals on the sides here, and then it'll be even. Okay, as I was saying, this wasn't dry, and then I set it down, and it's dimensional, so it's smeared. So you want to make sure you either hit this with the heat gun or let it dry along like overnight. I'm going to go and take this one and hit it with the heat gun. So I will be right back. Okay, I've hit that one with the heat gun, but I'm going to try something. Since this side is ruined, I have found that I can sometimes push off because I don't want to lose this piece. So I'm going to try taking off the dimensionals and then seeing if I can still use this side. I'm not out anything if it doesn't work because it's already, I can't, to the point that I can't use it. So I've got all the pieces off. And what I have usually been able to do is to take my finger and push all of the, aha, see, it worked. So I haven't lost this. Now you have to do it for each piece, but you have to get off the adhesive. So let me work on that. And actually, what I can use, and I don't know if you ladies have this, but this is an adhesive remover. If you don't have one of these, it is well worth the money to purchase it, because look how it takes it off. I totally forgot I had this. Look at that. It's all gone. So this is well worth a couple of bucks that it costs, because then now I haven't lost this piece. I would just take and see. So now it's fine. I've got that one spot, and I don't know if it's, I don't think it's not sticking. So, but that's so minor. If I put it at the bottom, it won't be noticeable. So I'm going to redo this one at a later time, only because I just don't I don't have time to go get my stamps. I had cleaned them. So this one will go on here. And as I was saying, if you don't want this popped up, then put your dimensionals here, 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 and here, and it will stick to the front of the card, and it won't be raised up. So it just depends on what you want. Or you could put snail on the back. Depends on what you want. Sorry about that. My dog has decided to. Okay, let's try this again. Now that I've cleaned it up, I've got my stamps back out. I'm going to ink up my swirly circle, and I'm going to stamp it in the center. Leave it there a few seconds for the ink to transfer. Now I'm going to do my sentiment right in the center. You can kind of see it if it's small enough. And that has transferred. I'm going to go clean this and heat set this, and then I'll be back. Okay, I've cleaned up my stamps and I've heat set this. The reason you have to heat set this is a pigment ink, and it doesn't dry as quickly as the water-based inks. So what you usually have to do is heat set it. And I'm not going to add mine to my card. As you can see, I'm using one. I'm going to use some of my Tombow glue on the back and make mine perfectly flat onto my card. Make sure it's even. You get a little bit of time to do that with the Tombow. And there's the pink card done. And it has an envelope to go with it. So the pink card is done. Now I'm going to do the striped envelope. Again, use your bone folder to get a crisp edge. And this one I'm going to use a pink flag on. So I'm going to pop out my pink flag. I'm going to take my dimensionals and I'm going to add those to my piece. I've got to do some cutting because I've used up the other half pieces. You don't have to do this. Stampin' Up! Gives you plenty of dimensionals. I just have found that it's not necessary to use a whole piece. All right, now that long piece was at the top, so I'm going to turn it and put the long piece of the dimensional on that side. I'm going to go down here. Since I have a long piece here, I'm going to put the long piece against this edge. I'm turning it, and I'm going to put my long piece over there towards that way so that I have my dimensionals on the back and it's set to go. Take off my backing. And I'm going to put that on my card. I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm going to turn it over, use my Tombow glue right in the center, and I'm going to add my sentiment there. And I now have my two cards done. The next thing that I have to do is to make the box. The box directions, this is the box